Hey there, this is Ryan from Engadget, and today we're going to be checking out the Optimus Maximus. This is one of the very first models ever produced of Art Lebedev's keyboard, and is running an early version of the firmware. So let's turn this thing on and get it going. So this is the boot up sequence here. And hard to tell, but each of these keys has some random visual noise on it, probably to clear out the displays. And so there are the keys. This is the default keyboard layout. This is the Windows layout. Got the Windows logo on there. And right away you can see that everything is customizable in terms of the actual fonts. So if you hit the caps lock key, it stays caps. And then you've got your option keys over here, one of which is actually the Engadget key, which is a personal favorite of mine, of course. And then you've got all, the standard stuff, alpha pad, page up, down, etc. So now let's go over to the desktop computer, and I've got this plugged into a Mac. We're going to start it up. And so, again, this is some early software, so we have to start the drivers for the Mac, and what that did was it actually turned the Mac layout and overwrote the Windows layout. So if we were to actually close down the Mac driver from here, this would take it right back to Windows. And then over here we have the actual configuration app. This is where all the fun stuff happens in terms of making the keyboard actually customized. So because this is an early firmware, some of the things on this don't work, like caps lock doesn't work on the Mac. Shift does, but it takes a little while to actually update those keys. And then you can also do the symbols as well. And if you see, it's not quite matched up with the keyboard palette. So one of the things we can actually test out here is we'll make a new layer. This is kind of like a new keyboard mapping. And then one of the actual really interesting things that I saw right off was that you can paint directly onto the keys through a photo editing app. So to do that, I've got this set up with Photoshop, so I'm going to hit the paint button here, and that actually opens up in Photoshop a key layout. And if I just start painting on this thing with, say, a brush, go over here and grab a brush. And then when I save this, that's my new key layout. You can see it only uses the keys where there's actually bitmaps in there. And then what I do is I can actually bind this to an application. So I'm going to go over to here to Conditions and Application, and then whenever Finder is active, let's say, then that's the keyboard layout. So as soon as I click the desktop, it goes to that layout that I just made. And it doesn't actually overtake any of the keys that have already been written by the defaults. Then when I switch back, keys come back. So you can see it's extremely easy to make new keyboard layouts on this thing. And let's go back real quick and just change the default. So one of the things you can do here is you can actually change the fonts and the styles. So on this I've got the, say we'll do the E key for Engadget, and we'll, you can see right here, there's the E key. So we'll crank this thing up to 67 font, make that bold, And then we'll make that cyan, and we'll make the background let's go with white. And then there it is. Maybe it's a little hard to see on the white background. Do the brown one. So you can go through each and every key and customize it as you like. I mean, you can change the font, you can go and do the colors and backgrounds, what have you, size, italics, and then of course there's the reset right there, which brings it back. Same thing with the control keys. You can change that layout as you see fit, and you can even get granular and do the conditions to not only just the application, but with modifier keys as well. So if I'm in Finder and then I happen to hit Shift, that's when I want to see this particular layout. So if I go back to Finder, I'm still in the default, but as soon as I hit Shift, there it goes. It's actually really easy to use this thing. I'm really looking forward to when more people get their hands on it and start making some custom keyboard layouts. So yeah, that's about all I think you need to see for one of the very first versions of the firmware for the Optimus Maximus. Obviously a lot of promise here. I'm definitely going to be taking a look at this as it develops. Thanks for watching.